Three Spartan kids wandered off into the forest and found a giant talking tree. Little did the boys know that very night would be full of joy, laughter, and excitement, but it would also be their last. For though the tree meant no harm, the more questions one asked, the person would begin to age rapidly. It was an exchange for gnosis, which means knowledge. For gnosis only came with time. In the unseen realm, an angel of the Lord stood by and watched all unfold. The boys watched as one of them began to grow. Being naive and completely oblivious, their simple minds thought the tree made them taller. So they began to ask more and more questions until death found them. Days passed, and the bodies of 3 old men were found next to the talking tree. A few of the Spartan men that led the search party looked up in horror as the tree looked upon them. Word spread quickly. Spartan officials and leaders were very cunning and noticed the tree made people age who asked questions. So they gathered the prisoners, blindfolded them all, and forced them to ask the tree questions they wanted answers to. People came by the thousands. Back in the city, there was a young prince named Helios, with great wealth, who acquired his family's fortune after both parents were assassinated. Helios was no fool. He was a tactician, a master when it came to thinking and strategizing. He bought the rest of the prisoners, spending all of his wealth, 563 prisoners to be exact. He immediately ordered all prisoners to have their eyes removed to restart the business called gnosis. He began to sell the prisoners off. The younger the prisoner, the higher the price. Kings, warriors, and princes came from unknown lands. After all the prisoners were sold, he immediately loaded all of his riches onto a ship and left the land, for he knew what was coming: utter disaster. Husbands and wives bought prisoners to the tree to ask simple questions such as, "Who is my wife's mistress?" Wives asked the same. Higher officials asked more important questions such as, who was responsible for unknown atrocities, such as murders and stealing of wealth? You can simply say, all hell broke loose. By this time, Helios watched from his ship. Disaster was everywhere. The only ones who seemed to profit from this chaos were the extremely poor. As for that lazy angel, exiled from heaven, the punishment was severe. The angel forced to live 700 years as an old,